Hi everybody. It's your friend Daniel Hutchins. Yes, it's your friend Daniel Hutchins. We're back again. Yes, we're back again. Now, apparently there is a lot of things we can talk about. But firstly and foremostly, I want you guys to remember that again, this is an entertainment channel. So we like to do entertainment related things. Now, again, if I could ever get my stupid phone to stand up, that'd be nice. Okay, so, also, we're grabbing my computer. Yeah, we're grabbing the computer. Right? Alright, so, how goes things today? Well, I'm glad you guys come. Now, we're hopping on to, our, computer, and we're gonna see what's going on with her friend, Comic Book Resources. Yes, Comic Book Resources. What is going on with Comic Book Resources? Well, you see, that's a good question. Okay, did you guys know that there's a near perfect streaming show with 95% Rotten Tomato score that you have to watch after you watch Superman? You know what that is? I'll remind you guys again. Remember, there is a near perfect streaming show with a 95% Rotten Tomato score that is a must watch after you watch Superman. Yeah, I'm doing okay. How you been? So what we're talking about is some comic book stuff over on Comic Book Resources. Again, this near perfect streaming show with 95% Rotten Tomato score is a must watch after Superman. What are we going to be talking about? Well, the project we're going to be reminding you guys about again is the show we talked about last year. Yes, last year around the Christmas holiday over on my other channel, the Hutchins Hut Productions, which is a subsidiary of this channel. If you haven't subscribed over there, go subscribe. Because we talked about that, this topic over there as well. So, what is the topic we're going to talk about today? Well, we're going to be talking about Creature Commandos. Yes, Creature Commandos. The adult cartoon on HBO Max. Yes, Creature Commandos. Okay. So far, the only things that are so far in the DCU since its infancy is the Superman and Creature Commandos. So far. However, both of these have positive reactions and positive reviews from both the critics and the fans alike, with a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes being the highest rated DC project to date. This animated series served as a spiritual successor to the James Gunn Suicide Squad, and yes, we're going to be revisiting that on August the 3rd, and we're going to be doing that here on Hutchins Hut, again, for the anniversary of the Suicide Squad, the James Gunn's Suicide Squad. We'll do a special on that on August the 3rd next week, or sometime in the next few weeks, whenever that anniversary comes back. It'd be the 4-year anniversary of the James Gunn Suicide Squad. Yes, we'll be doing that here on Hutchins Hut, obviously. Now, again, there's returned characters like Amanda Waller and John Economos and Weasel. And now they have this other group that's called the Task Force M. It's called Task Force M. The M stands for monsters. Okay? Creature Commandos debuted last year on HBO Max, and yes, it is confirmed for another season. However, it's still in the early development right now. So we know there's going to be a second season coming back from the new DC spearhead, Mr. James Gunn. Um, so so he's going to try to bring his universe into full circle. Creature Commandos is the first DCU project to release. Yes, it did. Last Christmas. Last Christmas it had released, actually. The Christmas holiday in 2024, technically. And I did do that on the other channel as well, my Hutchinson Productions channel. Creature Commandos also has a very star-studded voice cast. Also, this is also with the director of the Harley Quinn series. The director of the Harley Quinn series also helped James Gunn write the Creature Commandos. Little fun fact. Superman has been a DCU project that has received the most attention so far, considering it's in the theaters right now. But Creature Commandos is technically the first project from James Gunn's new DC universe. After he became the new head of the DC Studios, after the now recently defunct DC Extended Universe from 2023. I did a whole special on that. Okay, the series was so far into fit with James Gunn and his vision of the DCU, enough to also launch a franchise, and therefore he's alluded this back in September. And since Superman was his big focus project, now since Superman's in the theater right now, go out to your theater and go watch Superman. Like I have reminded you guys hence before. Go to your theater and go watch Superman. It's a really fun one. It's a really fun time. However, part of the fun of the interconnected universes is seeing how these story threads go from next project to the next. Now, Creature Commandos only just planted the seed for Superman as for the rest of the future of the DC Universe. Hence, the chapter of this first phase is Phase 1, The Gods and Monsters. While Superman dealt with godlike figures, Creature Commandos also figured monsters. So, yes, this is the first wave of DCU, the DC Universe. Creature Commandos also introduced and teased major DCU characters. Make no mistake, as my forever theme on Hutchins forever suggests, to create a franchise full of crossovers on the level like the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, DC Studios has to strive to avoid the same mistakes the other franchises have made over the years. Therefore, one of the biggest problems is remembering how to set up projects that again will materialize and be able to be enjoyed by audiences like you and I alike. Nonetheless, the established nature of the DC Universe means characters can turn up without explanation. Like, Batman, for instance. Or, you know. So, the next projects that are happening is Peacemaker. Yes, Peacemaker will be coming out next month. I will be doing a special about that. Supergirl is next summer. Green Lantern is next summer. And Clayface is in the fall next year. So, yeah, I will be doing specials on all of those things. Yes, on Hutchins Hut, we like to take great pride into talking about the comic books. Creature Commandos also sets the stage and plants the seed for many of the DC Studios plans that roll down the road. The biggest quick glimpse to the DCU's Batman, who again will later debut in The Brave and the Bold, the next Batman movie. However, Creature Commandos has also teased the Clayface and Sergeant Rock, who also have films that are happening in the future. Make no mistake, Superman and Creature Commandos are just a start. However, there is more familiar faces from past DC projects and the promise of what the franchise is capable of. So, expect to see some exciting cameos sprinkled throughout the universe. Yes, you will see some exciting cameos sprinkled throughout the universe. More specifically, the DC universe. Creature Commandos also offers a better taste of what to expect to the DCU. The Avoid Any Superhero Fatigue DC superheroes will also explore a variety of genre tones and keep audiences engaged with what they have to offer. Well, it also took Marvel Studios years to expand their media, television, and animation likewise. For most people, Superman was their first introduction to the DC Universe. However, with the goal of the new DC Universe, we just did that. So again, with Marvel Studios now again, excelling in the films like The Winter Soldier and Shang-Chi and Legend of Ten Rings, each belong to their own respective genre and incorporated traditional superhero flair. So yeah, based on James Gunn and his comment on about the DC Universe, it seems the new franchise will go even further than the Marvel Studios does when it comes with the variety. Creature Commandos is the perfect reflection of that, and not only is Creature Commandos far more mature than that of the Superman film, but it's also animated. Um, so the MCU took a decade to expand their television, animation, and their R-rated films, whereas the DC Universe did those things already with their first projects. The DC Universe has already had a very bold start, where there wasn't really much success the last few years with the MCU, which is unfortunate because I'm really big in the Marvel. However, the watching of the Creature Commandos after the Superman will give you guys a little bit of a taste of, why it's important to invest in the DC Universe. And also for projects that have their own distinct sensibility, for the future of the comic book universe. The project, like Superman, is always going to receive more attention than the Creature Commandos does because the Man of Steel movie, let's be honest, the Man of Steel movie was awful. The Man of Steel movie was awful. So, with that being said, Creature Commandos quietly got the DCU off to the ground. So then Superman then, celebrates it after, like we did see like before. The consistency and the quality that Marvel Studios has basically has not been as hasn't been as prominent in recent years, whereas DC's universe is trying to re-justify that. Creature Commandos explores the world even when there's quick appearances and substantial DC characters that come out of the blink of an eye. However, those will be more major pieces to the new franchise. Those who enjoy Superman should also jump over the Creature Commandos again, not because it's a great start, but because it's to build up more anticipation and excitement for what DC's universe is building. Okay, so, yeah. I'll see you next time on the next episode of The Hut.